Hey guys, how's it going? Now, as a kid, I thought that GT always referred to racing or sports cars. Then I joined GT and I figured that GT refers to guiding tech. And now we've reached a point where phones also have GT in their names. Two very similar yet equally distinguishable devices, the Realme GT Neo 2 and the Poco F3 GT. The one is clearly a gaming phone, while the other is clearly a style statement, yet packs in some serious power. But which phone is the better of the two? Well, that's what this video is all about. This is one from GTR and you're watching my in-depth comparison of the Realme GT Neo 2 with the Poco F3 GT. Let's get started. Alright, so let's kick things off by talking about the design here. We have the uber flashy neon green variant of the GT Neo 2 against the comparatively boring black version of the Poco F3 GT. As far as looks go, the GT Neo 2 is definitely the flashier one and something that you would love to flaunt. In terms of weight and ergonomics, the F3 GT is slimmer than the Neo 2, but is still a bit heavier. So overall, they both feel almost the same in hand. However, if you judge from a design perspective, then the edges on the Poco F3 GT have these slopes to make it easier for dual hand landscape usage, while the GT Neo 2 is easier for one-handed usage. But the Poco F3 GT comes with Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the back as well and is rated for IP53, while Realme has no such IP rating. The selfie cameras are positioned on the top left in the GT Neo 2 and in the center on the Poco F3 GT. Neither of the phones pack in a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is kinda to be expected at this point, but I genuinely wish Poco had one, considering that this is a proper gaming phone. Now, one advantage that the F3 GT clearly has are the gaming triggers. I'll be talking about that in more detail in the performance section of this video, but yeah, so far Realme does not have anything to compete with the gaming triggers or does not have any special features per se. Next up, the other displays. They're both flagship grade displays with great colors and HDR certifications, and both are protected by Gorilla Glass 5. The GT Neo 2 is the brighter panel here, going all the way up to 1300 nits, which makes it the better panel for outdoor usage. However, Poco excels when it comes to color accuracy since it's a 10-bit panel as opposed to Realme's 8-bit. Also, while both are 120Hz refresh rate displays, the Poco F3 GT actually has a higher touch sampling rate of 480Hz against Realme's 360Hz. Then again, Realme has the in-display fingerprint scanner, which is more modern as opposed to the side-mounted scanner that the F3 GT has. So yeah, the general trend kinda continues here. The GT Neo 2 seems to be targeted more towards general users, while the Poco F3 GT is definitely targeted towards more of the gaming audience. But the HDR10 panel is something that will also appeal for general consumers too. So yeah, kudos to Poco for that. Alright, so which phone has the better cameras? Well, on paper they're both the same, featuring the same triple camera setup at the back and a similar 16MP selfie shooter up front. As for real world usage, in daylight shots, the Poco F3 GT has a clear edge here. The shots are much more detailed and have good overall contrast here as well. Yes, the shots are slightly saturated, but the results look far more appealing on the F3 GT as compared to the GT Neo 2. The HDR is equally good on both the phones, but Poco seems to be doing a better job overall than Realme here. As for selfies, the F3 GT once again wins with sharper, clearer and better contrast images. The Realme GT Neo 2 tends to saturate images quite a lot and I don't really like the results. Poco's portrait mode also has better edge detection in comparison, which is pretty good. Now, while daylight photos are Poco's game, in low light, the Realme performs better, but only slightly. See, the F3 GT does manage to get more illumination in, but it does so quite extensively. Realme manages to control the contrast so as to highlight the subject well enough while also maintaining the look of a night shot. Both the phones rely a lot on over-sharpening for show, but the end results are really good. Finally, for videos, both the phones don't have OIS but use EIS to offer some level of stabilization. As far as the quality goes, the Realme GT Neo 2 can go all the way up to 4K 60fps, while the F3 GT caps out at 4K 30fps. But yeah, as an overall package, the Poco F3 GT definitely has the upper hand as compared to the Realme GT Neo 2, which is kinda surprising because you would expect this to have a better camera and this to have better performance, considering this is a gaming phone and this is a general purpose phone. But if the roles for cameras are reversed, I wonder how the performance is like. And well, it's the flagship Dimensity 1200 against yesteryear's flagships, which is the Snapdragon 870. Interestingly, in terms of benchmarks, it's the Realme GT Neo 2 which comes out on top, and that too with some good margin. The GPU scores aren't that far behind, but the Snapdragon 870 still has the edge in terms of pure CPU performance here. Now, the Poco F3 GT is supposed to be a gaming phone, right? So you would technically expect better gaming performance from this phone as opposed to the GT Neo 2, right? Well, initially, both the phones managed to run games like BGMI and Call of Duty at the highest settings. The F3 GT does heat up in comparison to the GT Neo 2. In my testing, the performances weren't affected much, despite the CPU being throttled for sure, but the phone feels very warm, which does not translate to a good experience. The fact is that even though Poco F3 GT has the gaming triggers to, well, elevate your gaming experience, the thermals are better managed on the Realme GT Neo 2. So basically, if you're going to be gaming for extended periods of time, it's the GT Neo 2 that offers better performance as compared to the Poco F3 GT, a gaming phone. But for day-to-day usage, they're both the same. UFS 3.1 storage means great speeds and the performance was very snappy. Realme also has the dynamic RAM feature, which I don't really care about. In fact, I've done a thorough explainer video talking about what this dynamic RAM really is, so check it out from the link in the card here. But yeah, as far as performance for normal users is concerned, they're both excellent phones. Lastly, there's the battery life. On paper, they're both pretty much the same, with Poco having a slightly bigger capacity and an ever so slightly faster charging. In reality, both the devices last about the same and take about the same time to fully juice up. Both MIUI and Realme UI are great at optimizing stuff, so that's good. Speaking of which, the software part is obviously a deciding factor for a lot of folks. Obviously, MIUI and Realme UI are at two different ends of the spectrum. Like, Realme UI leans more towards stock Android, obviously with flares of ColorOS and everything else, while MIUI is a completely different experience altogether. Now, which one you like is completely your choice. They both have bloatware, but MIUI is slowly shifting away from bloatwares and everything that comes here is easily uninstallable. With the GT Neo 2, I have seen a lot of bloatware on board and it's not something that I like. So, yeah. So, which phone is the better one out here? Well, first off, the Realme GT Neo 2 is priced 3000 extra as compared to the Poco F3 GT now that the initial sales have ended. Well, that's a sizable price gap for sure. But the most interesting things that I noticed here is that a gaming phone is behind a normal day-to-day usage phone in terms of gaming, while a normal day-to-day usage phone is behind a gaming phone when it comes to cameras. So yeah, those are two very stark differences. And for a price gap of 3000, I think while you'll be okay with going for either phones, if you won't be, well, gaming for extended periods of hours, like 1.5 2 hours of extended gaming, I think the Poco F3 GT proves to be a better value for money. Like, there's no denying the fact that the GT Neo 2 is an excellent phone and has a more sustainable and more reliable processor. But now that the initial sales are off and this thing retails for 32,000, well, for most folks, you can still save up 3,000 rupees in your bank account and go for the Poco F3 GT without having any issues whatsoever. As long as you're not going to be gaming for very long periods of time. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Ron from GTR and I'll see you in the next one.